All right, guys, welcome back. Super pumped to have you here. We're going to talk about a strategy that is just too easy not to do, that is crushing. So if you want higher conversion rates, if you want cheaper CPAs, and you want more stability, then like this strategy is for you. And the strategy is one that I see a lot of people not using still. And I would know, like, we audit probably 50 brands a month. We audit their meta ad accounts, their strategies, and very few times do I see people use this. And guys, this is like the easiest, lowest hanging fruit of free money that probably exists. And you change nothing. And honestly, it's probably one of the easiest things that you can start doing literally this week with very little effort involved. This strategy is responsible for us spending $18,000 a day for some accounts, $50,000 days for some accounts, responsible for many of our brands doing $30K a day in revenue. This brand I'm showing you in right here, these guys are up 129% year over year. And I think this has a big part to do with this strategy as well, because we've been working with this brand for well over a year. And so we've had the benefit of the hindsight. And because we've had the benefit of hindsight to see what's actually making a big difference. And this is the thing. So the strategy that many people aren't doing, it's called whitelisting. Whitelisting other people's accounts to run ads from their accounts. There's a lot of benefits to this. I'm gonna get through this video. So this video, we're gonna cover three main things. Number one, we're going to cover what the heck is whitelisting and the different ways that you can do it, because there are different ways to do it. Number two, we're going to talk about what are the benefits of whitelisting and why you should be doing it. And number three is I'm actually going to show you how to set this up and the different ways to set this up. Okay, so the first thing we want to get through is what the heck is whitelisting? So I have three ads in front of me, and these three ads I literally pulled 5 minutes before I made this video. So this is a normal ad. Okay, very normal ad, the brand name, there it is. This is a partnership ad. Okay, where you see the brand name and then you see the person that they are running ads from. And this is your more traditional whitelisting ad. So these are the three main ways to do this. Now, there's different reasons why you would run different ones. So, and to be honest with you, I don't know why anyone is not running whitelisting, or at least a minimum partnership ads, because partnership ads are the easiest setup. So what are the different benefits of this? Number one is this is by far the easiest to set up. This way, it's harder, but it gives you way more control, okay? Way more control. You can do really cool things using this, which I'm gonna teach you in this video, whereas this is the easiest setup, but you also have less control, okay? And that'll become very clear when I do the setup inside of the meta ad account. Okay, so what are the benefits of doing this? Well, there's a few benefits. I'm gonna get the most obvious ones out of the way. Number one, higher conversion rates from an ad perspective. Now, there's a reason for this. And the reasons from a performance perspective are all kind of intertwined, because you get a higher conversion rate, but then you also get more stability. Now, what are the reasons for this? Well, human nature is we don't like to be sold to by brands, but we love to be recommended to by So the reasons are we hate to be sold to by brands, okay? But we love to be recommended products by real people. That really is why this works. We run this for brands and we typically see a better conversion rate on partnership and whitelisting ads than from the actual brand page. Now, there's outliers in that. I don't want some guy to DM you saying my conversion rate is better than I did whitelisting. Yes, there's gonna be outliers, but for the most part, for the many accounts that we work with, whitelisting has a better conversion rate. And what that does is give us a better conversion rate, more stability, but also what it does allows us to cram down the throats of people who are targeting our product and our brand. So really, it's just more eyes. What do I mean by that? Okay, so Meta, let's say I, Ray, am in the pool of audience that this brand is targeting. Meta has some restrictions on the amount of times per day I can see an ad from this brand. I may see a post, I may see Instagram stories, but actually an ad serving me from this profile, I'll only see up to 2 to 3 times a day, okay? Unless you do some kind of ad account creation where you're doing optimizing for reach or impressions and you add some kind of bid or frequency cap on it, you can do it more potentially if you bid that way, but on average, Meta will only serve it 2-3 times a day. But what's really cool is that by doing this, I could then also have this profile serve them 2-3 times a day. And then this profile serve them 2-3 times a day. So technically, if you have the same pool of audience, let's say I'm the only person in this audience, and all these ads are targeting me, I may only see ads from this profile 2 to 3 times a day, but then I'll see ads from a different profile, but also talking about that product 2 to 3 times a day. And same thing for this one. So what it does is it crams down the throats of users your product and your message to where every time that they open up Instagram, potentially they could be seeing an ad about your product, but from different people. And when you have that, that's why we also see a lot more stability, because then think about the psychology of this. I'm a person, I see this product about weight loss because for the reason I either talked about it, I've been watching other content about thinning out, getting more lean, and then Meta thinks that I'm interested in. Okay, I see the ad from this brand. Okay, whatever, they're trying to sell me crap. But then also, the next time I open up Instagram, I see an ad again from the same brand, but also in partnership with another person. I'm like, okay, cool. My mind tells me they are honestly just paying them to say that. But then I start seeing ads from third parties, other people. It starts to play in your psychology. We're like, oh my gosh, like maybe I should take a look at this product, because every time I open up Instagram or Meta or TikTok, and you can also do this on YouTube, I see ads about this product from different people, different messages, and different viewpoints. It starts to add up in the psychology that I should really take a look at this product and probably buy this product. That's why this works so well. And I think it's important to note is this doesn't have to be a person. Like this could be a person like Jane Whitmore, or it can just be Beyond Beauty Beyond Mom Jeans. The reality is it's just a different profile, right? The profile can be whatever you want. Different strategies that we use is we'll use people. You can create profiles that list the benefit. For example, 30 days to cut 30 pounds, and you can literally run health and wellness whitelisting ads from that profile as well. It still works. Okay, a few reasons I mentioned as well is this increased trust. And the other benefit, which only works in the traditional whitelisting realm, and that is it opens you up to new audiences. These are the benefits, but this only works for whitelisting, okay? Now, partnership ads, when you go to create an ad, what happens is you can click partnership ad and then request access to a post or a piece of content someone made about your brand, but then they have to approve it. Now, what happens here is when you do this on the partnership ad, you're essentially just running that ad to the same audiences you normally are. So if that's broad, if that's a lookalike, you don't get any control of the type of audiences that you get to serve it to beyond the things that you control. However, so this, just to recap how you do this, is you request access, and I'll walk you through how to do that in a second. You request access, but you have no control. So we made that clear. Okay. This one, however, is they give you access, partner access, because they create their own business manager. Okay. It gives you full control and new audiences. So what do I mean by that? So this way, they create their own business manager, and then you request access to that business manager that then they approve, so that then you can, when you create an ad, just select their profile. But the other cool thing as well here, especially if they give you access, is you can then create audiences. Custom audiences. So you could create a custom audience of people who visited their profile. You can create an audience of people who have watched this video. You can create a custom audience of people who have messaged the page. You can create lookalikes of people who have engaged with their content on Instagram. So what this does is, by this method, it opens you up to a whole new pool of audience. So what we often do if we're doing this style is we will run ads from that account, then we'll create a custom audience of people who have engaged with that profile, run that ad to then people who have engaged with that profile, and then also create lookalikes of people who have engaged that profile. And what it does is it opens you up to a whole new bucket of audience that you wouldn't have had otherwise on your page. And not only that, but then you can also, like I mentioned, retarget people who have engaged that profile with that ad, with that content. And so what this does is it gives you a lot of control, full control, but then also it gives you really cool benefits that you wouldn't have had otherwise. If you don't care about that, that's fine as well. I personally like why I get to have full control, because I find that that new pocket of audience I open myself up to gives me incremental net new customers, and especially if you create lookalikes off it and it performs really well. It's awesome. So imagine, if you will, this person, they create this piece of content for me. I now have access to their business manager. I'm running ads, again, from my profile, but just selecting their audiences in their profile, how to do that. And what I'm doing is I am targeting their audience who have engaged with their profile, this ad. I've also created a lookalike of people who have engaged with that profile and using that same ad as well and targeting cold audiences too. And it's a really great flywheel that I see work very consistently and gives you all the benefits you want, which is higher conversion rate, higher stability, more eyes, trust, and opens up to whole new people. And just on the stability piece, when I see that brands do at least this and this you can give or take, but this, we get so much more stability. And in this regard, more is better. Now, just like with everything else, you're gonna test different people profiles. Some won't work, some will work, but my opinion is over 5 whitelisting accounts, and that's where you see a lot of really great benefits and stability. Doing one off, sure, that can help, but I like to get 5+ or more. Now, when I tell people this and I coach people in our mentorship group, here are some of the reasons that I hear people making excuses why they don't do it. Number one, I have to pay people. You don't always have to pay someone. The reason why is because you have all the leverage. You're spending the money, but then also you have the leverage of visibility. We get people to do this either for free or for a very cheap deal. Here's the reason why. Because we are growing your followers and engagement for free because we're running ads from your profile. And some of our brands, they'll do this for like a flat retainer. Other ones, they already have a deal in place where that content creator is making content for them on a regular basis anyways. Some of them will do an affiliate commission deal. Other of them, sometimes they'll do just like I'll give you like 1% of the spend if it's profitable. So there's different ways you can do this, but you have so much leverage. And if someone's being like a really drama queen about it, move on because they're replaceable. Like we have seen benefits where we just have the people on the team who are already working for the company and just use their personal profiles or profiles that they create. Like, and it still works just as well. You don't have to be a big name. Now, if you don't have a big following, then there's no point in probably doing this one because there's no point in creating lookalikes or an audience of people who are like a small following, but you still get all the same benefits of this, just except for this one. So you still get the same benefits, even if you're doing this where you're running ads from the people who already work in the business. So our brands, what we do is we'll run ads from the brand's profile, from the founder's profile, from the social media content marketing coordinator's profile, people who make content for them for their profile. So you still are doing it from people's profiles. They don't have to be a big person to do it. Like that's not near as important. It can be better for this last benefit, but it could still work without it. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna show you how to set this up. So this is actually a really cool strategy, by the way. We have a bunch of dummy accounts where I can do these trainings and our teams can train inside ad accounts that don't have real data behind them. But let's say you're gonna create the first type, and that is a partnership ad. Very simple. Partnership ad, when I go to create a new ad, there is something right here called partnership ad. Click that. Now, there's a few ways you can do it. Number one is if you're working with a content creator, they can make a piece of content, they can post it, and they can, in that post, click the 3 dots and it'll say, get partnership access code, and they can send you that code. Honestly, that's a big headache. Every time I give people instructions in a video, they screw it up. Instead, the easier way is just to go here, click on enter code info, and you can put the literal URL here of the piece of content you want to run. You can put the post ID, but I find the URL is easier. So for example, I went to my own Instagram account, I put a random post here. So for example, for this teaching, I just went to my personal profile. I took a post that I made about another brand. I'm gonna take that URL, I'm gonna post it here. You see what it does? It immediately pulls up that piece of content that I made, okay? And so for example, if I was this brand Oatly, this would be my page and my Instagram, and it would say my name plus that brand name. Now, what's really cool in the controls here is, so just to go back real quick, is you remember, a partnership ad gives you these benefits, no control, right? Request access, but it gives you these still same great benefits. But as you probably noticed, what's really cool is that from a visibility standpoint, even though I don't get full control, I can change who I want in the profile. I can just be, for example, from the user's perspective, it can look like this is a piece of content from Ray, for example, or if I wanted to, I could have both, right? There's benefits to doing this, or both identities in the header, okay? It really depends on if you have other whitelisting people you're working with. My personal choice is I like to choose this because remember, people like to be recommended to by real people and not to be sold to by a brand. And as a general rule, I just see better conversion rates when I have just the name versus the actual profile, not just using our agency's profile to show this to you, right? Then you would click done. And what happens is that person would then get a request, a notification that this person is requesting to be a partner on this ad. Very simple to do. They click approve, boom, done, you're off to the races. Very simple to do. So that's one way. So the other way is regarding a business manager. So You can YouTube this. It's very simple, but every person that has an Instagram account and a Meta ad account and a Meta account can create a business manager to run ads. Now, they don't have to run ads, but they can still create it. By doing this, it catalogs all of their assets, their pixels, their audiences, their Instagram, their Facebook account, and in that account into one umbrella account. So what they would have to do is create a business manager. I'm not going to walk through that. You can give them a YouTube video on how to create a business manager. But once they do that, what you need to do is request access to it. So all they have to do, for example, is in the top right here, they have to find their ID. Once they create a business manager account, up at the top here is going to be an ID. Right? It's right there in the URL. You can also go to your business settings and see the ID. You get that ID and they message it to you. Once you have that ID, you can request access to it that then they approve. So how that works is for you, all you gotta do is you go here, add. So you go under your own business manager, click partners, ask partner to assign assets, get started. You type in their name, contact, you put in the ID. You put the ID in here and you ask for what kind of partner access that you want, click next. Once you do that, you can request what permissions that you want inside their assets and then click approve. Once they approve it, then you go through the normal process where when you go to create an ad, which I'll show that to you now, you have access to their stuff. So going back to that dummy ad account, for example, let's say I already got access to their stuff. When I go to create an ad, you can see here, I can select identities. And essentially what that does is I can then select what Instagram and Facebook account I want to run the ads from. So if they gave you access, you would have an option in the dropdown where you see their Instagram profile and you can select it. So I can go right here. I can see a whole list of Instagram accounts I can choose from that gave me access, that I can run ads from that profile, which is really cool. Same thing for the Meta. And if you want to then go and create audiences, you go to their business manager, you create audiences, and you can share that audience with your ad account and your business manager. Yeah, so that is one of the easiest things you can do right now to instantly increase your performance. If the easiest thing to do is to do a partnership ad, the more workaround is business manager, but you get all the full control. But if you don't care about that control, then cool. Like just go with the partnership ad. It's by far the easiest. Meta makes it really easy in that regard.